There was a last time you played with your best friend, a last match, a last one more game, a last time you heard their voice in the party before someone said, alright, I'm off. And neither of you knew it was the last time. You said goodnight, like you'd be back tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. And you didn't realise it until months later when you looked at your friends list and thought, wait, when was the last time we actually played together? And you couldn't remember. That's the part that gets you. You can't even remember the last time. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I think it's one of the saddest things about growing up that nobody ever talks about. That's what makes it hit so hard. It wasn't a big night, it wasn't a dramatic ending, nobody said, this is the last time we're doing this. It was just a Tuesday, or a random Friday, or just a random night where you played for a couple hours and said, I'm getting off, I'll be on tomorrow, and that was it. The most important goodbye you ever gave to someone, and you didn't even know it was a goodbye. Think about that just please, for a second. If someone had told you that night, hey, this is the last time you two are going to do this, you would have played one more match, you would have said something more than, alright, peace, but nobody tells you, and that's kind of the whole point. You never get a warning for the things that matter most. I remember my last time, well, it was quite hard to remember my last time. You know, it's quite tough. You have a great time, you're sitting there playing zombies until 2 AM, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you say, alright, I'm going to go off, I'll be on tomorrow, and then one day becomes 2 days, to then 3 days, to 4 days, to a month, to a few months, to, well, years. And I can't even tell you when the last time was, like I just said. I've tried to think back. Was it a quiet Nuketown game? Was it zombies? Were we laughing? Were we just quiet? I don't know, and I hate that I don't know, because it clearly wasn't memorable enough to stick. It was just another night, and somehow that kind of makes it worse. Nobody ever decides it's the last time. It just sort of becomes the last time without kind of anyone agreeing to it, and it always follows the same pattern. First, the sessions get shorter. You used to play for 4 or 5 hours, now it's just 1 hour and someone's got to go. Then the nights get less frequent. Every night becomes most nights become weekends. Weekends become whenever we're both free. And whenever we're both free slowly becomes, well, never. But it happens so gradually that you don't really notice. It's like watching the sunset. You can't point to the exact second it disappears. You just look up and it's dark. And nobody says anything about it. That's the unspoken rule. You don't acknowledge the fade. You don't text your mate saying, hey, we haven't played together in 4 months. What happened? Because that would mean admitting something had changed, and admitting it, well, makes it real. So you both just let it happen. In silence, like it was inevitable. And maybe it was, but that doesn't make it hurt less. And the more I think about it, the more I realise that this isn't just a gaming thing. There's a last time for everything. And you almost never know what's happening while it's well happening. There was a last time your mum carried you, and a last time your whole family sat around the dinner table and everyone was there. A last time you walked home from school with someone you used to see every single day. A last time you hung out with a friend before life pulls you in different directions. And you didn't mark any of them. They just passed like any other moment. Because that's how all the important moments pass. Quietly, without permission, without a warning. I read something once that said, one day you and your childhood friends went outside to play for the last time and none of you knew it. And that thought absolutely, well, kind of wrecked me a little bit. Because it's true. There was literally a day where you were all out in the street or in someone's garden and someone's mum called them in for dinner and everyone went home. And that was it. Nobody ever called everyone back out again. Not because anyone decided it was over, just because the next day something else happened, then something else. And eventually you looked up and 10 years had passed. That's life. That's the whole thing. A series of last times that you only recognise in the rearview mirror. Now I could sit here and give you some motivational speech about live every moment like it's the last, but that's rubbish. Nobody does that. You can't treat every Tuesday like it's a series finale, because it's exhausting and, well, let's just be frankly here, it's not real. But I think there's something in the middle. Not treating every moment like the last. Just being a bit more there when you're there. Putting the phone down when you're, well, with someone. Saying yes to one more game. Staying on that call 10 minutes longer than you need to. Not because this might be the last time, but because one day it will be. And you'd rather give too much than, well, too little. Because here's what I've learned. You don't regret the nights you stayed up too late with your mates. You don't regret that extra game. You don't regret the conversation that went on longer than, well, it should have done. You regret the ones you cut short. The ones where you said, nah, I'm getting off, when you could have stayed. The invites you turned down because you were tired. Those are the ones that will come back to you. And look, I'm not saying gaming specifically. I'm saying whatever version of the lobby is now. A group chat, a mate you keep meaning to call, a relationship you've been coasting in. Whatever it is, the fade has already started on something in your life right now. And by some reasonable chance, you might actually know what that is. The question is whether you're going to let it happen in silence again, or whether this is the time you're going to do something about it. If there's someone you haven't spoken to in a while, someone who came to mind at any point during this video, message them tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. Just a thinking of you, or remember when, or even just a, hey man, you doing alright? 3 words. 4 words maybe. That's all it takes to stop the fade. And the worst that happens is, well, they don't reply. But you can look back on this and think, well, at least I tried. And at least this time, you didn't let things just go quietly. Please drop a comment with the name, not the person's full name, just whatever you called them, nickname, gamertag, the shortened version of their name, only your group used. Write it down, because saying it out loud is the first step to not letting it disappear completely. And if the person you're thinking of somehow end up watching this, they miss you too, I promise. So subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.